If hell is real, then heck is surely plausible. Derby Day has arrived in Ohio's capital city. FC Cincinnati 2 makes the trip up I-71 to square off with their rivals, Columbus Crew 2. Welcome inside Scott's Miracle Grow Stadium alongside our broadcast team. I'm Jake Griffith, glad to have you alongside us. The tension high, the disdain palpable anytime Columbus and Cincinnati meet up. It's Columbus who not just has ridden the hot hand in this rivalry, winners of 3 of the last 4 here at home, but they're also riding the hot hand this season, coming off the win against Toronto FC 2 at the death, picking up all 3 points. As for FC Cincinnati, they've struggled to get off the schneid in 2026, winless in their opening 3 fixtures. As we take a look at our starting 11, first for Columbus Crew 2 and manager Federico Higuain going with a 5-4-1. At times it might look like a 5-2-2-1. Just 2 changes across this starting 11. Owen Prestis returns back to the first 11 on the pitch, and Prestis is such an important player for this Columbus Crew 2 team in terms of how they want to dictate the tone and the tempo defensively this afternoon. A real key piece for Higuain and company. Prestis has already started 1 match this year, played 68 minutes. Last year, 17 appearances prior to being loaned out in September. As for FC Cincinnati 2 and first-year manager Sammy Castellanos, they go with a 4-4-2, and it's 4 personnel changes across this lineup, including Andre Chirilla, 88 there along the back line, who returns to the Garys after making his first MLS appearance in the club's 6-1 loss on the road against New England Revolution last MLS match week. Andre Chirilla, he is in such high form. Castellanos couldn't speak highly enough of him earlier this week about the way he leads this team, not just vocally, but also by example, rather, out on the pitch. And they're going to need him to help shore up this defense that's already given up 6 goals in 2026. Moments away from the opening kick of the first derby matchup of the season between Columbus Crew 2 and FC Cincinnati 2. It's Sammy Castellanos' first taste of this heck is plausible derby, but the man roaming the touchlines for Columbus Crew 2, their manager, second season, Federico Higuain, he is all too familiar with this derby. Played in the first ever Hell is Real derby in the 2017 U.S. Open Cup as a player. And now facing FC Cincinnati as the Columbus Crew 2 manager for the 3rd time. 2 meetings last season. They split the matchups, including a thrilling 4-3 win for the Garys at home in September. Pulled level in the 88th, scored the winner in 90+6. Denny Kolasinac, our center referee, sounds the whistle, and we're underway to kick off a busy Saturday slate around MLS Next Pro. Scott's Miracle Grow Stadium, the home of the Columbus Crew first team, is our site. It's FC Cincinnati in the blue and the orange, Columbus in the yellow and black, and early we have our first taste of physicality and a booking as a card will come out of the pocket of Kolasinac. Columbus coming off the win against Toronto FC 2. Had a 1-0 lead, rather, a 2-1 lead. As Jack Mize will go into the book, the 18-year-old out of New York, coming over to this FC Cincinnati side from the Borussia Dortmund Academy. Prior to that, part of the Red Bull New York Academy. Federico Higuain, though, that win against Toronto FC 2, he said it was a good result, a good performance to build on. Building now here is FC Cincinnati 2, and quickly taken away by Quinton Elliott. It's Prestis. We highlighted him at the top of our broadcast. He was trying to push into the attack. He's fouled, and it will be another free kick for Columbus Crew. You already see that physicality and that intensity on display. Those were things that Sammy Castellanos said he wanted to see his team come out with early on in this contest. Really set the tone that way. Castellanos might be a newcomer to the rivalry, but he acknowledged this week, he said, look, the players in the locker room, they know when it's Columbus week, there's that calmness, that silence. Everyone is attentive, paying attention. That ball will go find the far touchline, and out it goes for a Gary's throw in. This FC Cincinnati 2 side, while they do have Andre Chirilla in his return, they do not have the services rather of Stefan Chirilla. Not in the starting 11 today for Sammy Castellanos and company. And Stefan Chirilla, he's really been Chirilla the Cappy Killer the last 3 seasons, and so bagged a brace last year in that 4-3 win at home, had a goal in one of the 2 matchups in 2024 between Columbus and FC Cincinnati 2. This Crew 2 side likely breathing a sigh of relief. They won't have to face his offensive quality today. Bombley will turn this one upfield, and here's Prestis again, operating on the right. Tries to get past that final defender, and Mosquera, that is well timed, able to stick that foot in. David Mosquera, the 18-year-old Colombian national, acquired a few months ago via the loan from Leones in the Colombian 2nd Division. FC Cincinnati fans might recognize the last name. He's the younger brother of Yerson Mosquera. Played for FC Cincinnati as a defender back in 2023. There were some issues for FCC2 playing out of the back, and now here's Bombley wearing the captain's armband today. Tried to tuck that one back inside. Was looking for Nico Rincon. And we'll have another whistle. Cesar Ruvalcaba, the former Super Draft pick, 51st overall out of SMU a season ago, whistled for that foul. Cappies will peel this one back to Luke Pruder, making his 4th start in as many matches for Columbus Crew. 8 saves, 6 goals allowed for the 87th overall Super Draft pick back in 2024. Throw in conceded, though, to FC Cincinnati 2. There's Chris Rogers now trying to fight off a challenge, and there's another whistle. Denny Kolasinac has been a busy man so far in this contest, and likely could be busy throughout the afternoon. We've already seen 1 card handed out. And that Columbus Crew win over Toronto FC as they thump that one forward toward Brown, but it finds the touchline. A change of possession will occur. Federico Higuain, he said that despite the 2 goals conceded to Toronto FC2, he did feel like the biggest takeaway for him, other than the win, was their defensive compactness. Now turned over. Here's Bombley, stopped by Dowd. Kevin Bombley, not a player you want to give that many opportunities in front of goal to. 9 goal contributions last year, including 6 of his own. Now the offside flag will come up. An early opportunity for Columbus. Good combination there. The leave off, rolled back centrally, and Bombley at the top of the area. Didn't get all of that with the right. Not enough to steer it past Dowd and give Columbus an early lead. Last year, Columbus were a first-half team against FC Cincinnati, scored 3 of their 4 total goals against the Garys in the 17th minute or earlier, as that will go out for a change of possession. See Cincinnati too struggling for options off the throw in. Headed back along though. Sammy Lachikar, the Frenchman, signed out of UNC Greensboro after spending 5 seasons there collegiately. He gave it up. Now here's Audemars Chavez. Audie Chavez, 30 in blue and orange. He's a high riser through this organization. Homegrown signing in the offseason, just about a month and change after he signed his first MLS Next Pro contract. They think very highly of Audemars Chavez in this organization. It's switched over here now to Jack Mize. Cuts back to his right, going for that far corner. A well-looking shot off the foot, but ends up carrying high. Individual effort here, the little stutter step just to free up space. And defender in Quentin Elliott not stepping up quickly enough to help out defensively, giving Mize enough room to get that shot off. We stay scoreless though here in Columbus, Ohio. Now countering is FC Cincinnati 2. Chavez pinned along that far touchline, and challenge applied by Chris Rogers, one of the stoutest defenders MLS Next Pro has to offer. A career high 2,310 minutes for 55 in yellow. Some real danger here though for Columbus Crew. They've had some struggles playing out of the back, and it's turned over again. Leo Orejuela, the former North Texas midfielder, coming over in the offseason after 7 appearances with John Gall and North Texas SC in the Western Conference. He won that ball back. Now Chirilla will reset things. Lachikar. And the Garys will go forward with it to Chavez now, who's losing ground. The biggest message from Sammy Castellanos, first-year manager for FC Cincinnati 2 this week, is things take time. He is well aware, of course, the club's record. They want to get on the score sheet. They want to notch their first win of 2026, as we have another whistle here. But Castellanos did say the most important thing is it's about the building blocks. Castellanos there on the bottom left corner of your screen watching on, as his team will have a free kick. That it's important for his team to get those building blocks down early in the season. And he does feel like from the opening season performance against Connecticut United to their last match against New England Revolution 2, a 2-1 loss, he feels like they're getting closer. And here they are, getting closer in toward goal. Hurtado, he'll stand up across, headed over the bar. Pruder got a fingertip to it, and in a flash, Cincinnati have their first corner. Great looking service in here, and an even better header from Charlie Holmes, the former Seattle Sounders Academy man. Luke Pruder using all of that 6'5" frame to just get a fingertip to that one. Gary's in search of their first set-piece goal of the season. They swing this service in, headed toward Pruder. There's a whistle though. Some positive momentum early for FC Cincinnati 2, in keeping with what their manager Sammy Castellanos was looking for this from the start of this contest. He did say coming in that more than anything, his biggest takeaway from the week in training was that despite 3 straight losses to open the season, a very upbeat group. Pruder ahead to Rincon. Here's Zach Zenge, who scored the match winner in the 90th minute against Toronto last week. Brown has to reset things. Long ball thumped forward. Brown in behind, looking for the service, tapped in front and whiffed wide. Prestis will pick the pieces up though for Columbus, trying to fight through a challenge, and instead commits the foul himself. Verticality has been something that Columbus has been able to unlock early in this season. 6th best long passing completion team in the league. And that one almost, but not quite for the Cappies. Takes a deflection. Kaba trying to force his way in and does successfully. Able to win that back. Here's Brown now. FC Cincinnati, a playoff team a season ago. They got in on the final day, a resounding 4-1 win on the road on decision day against Orlando City B. They were able to overcome a difficult start to the 2025 campaign. Opened 0-3-1 in their first 4 contests of last year. They're looking to avoid their first ever 0-4-0 start in club history. Slow starts have become somewhat of a theme for the club over the last few seasons. Started 0-3-1 through 4 in 2022, in addition to 2025. They've been able to overcome some of those. They were the 1 seed in the Eastern Conference back in 2024. This one drilled ahead. Pruder at the top of the area looking to clear it away. And not the greatest of clearances there for Columbus's netminder. Chavez now. He'll get it back. Andre Chirilla looking to swing this one in behind. It's headed down now. Building is FC Cincinnati. Mize had his back to goal, and now it's played forward to Mosquera. Andre Chirilla called up to the U.S. U18 national team earlier this week for their upcoming camp. 3 international friendlies on the docket for Chirilla and the U.S. U18s. A turnover forced here by Bombley, and laid off to Rincon. 26 appearances, 24 starts last year for Columbus. Here's Bombley, and Rincon connecting again. "15 minutes in, Columbus, their only shot has gone on target. Meanwhile, FC Cincinnati, they have 2 looks and 1 save made by Luke Pruder. Trying to find that midfield combination the Cappies were. Kaba will clean that turnover up. Up this near touchline for a teammate instead. We have a whistle. Official healthcare provider and fan of the Columbus Crew. Ohio Health, believe in we. Columbus, they own the all-time series lead between themselves and their in-state rivals. A 7-3-1 advantage. They've won back-to-back at home, 3 of the last 4. A number of those played at historic Crew Stadium. That one will go rolling into the gloves of Luke Pruder. FC Cincinnati heading on the road and taking on Columbus Crew 2 has been a real struggle. They've been outscored 25-3 away all time. Car Here's Chavez. He'll turn this to the back line. FC Cincinnati, they are getting good rotations in and around the midfield, trying to create those numbers going forward. That one out of the reach. Overhit in search of David Mosquera, and it'll be a throw for Columbus Crew 2. The biggest challenge Federico Higuain laid down to his team in training this week on the heels of that Toronto FC win was he wants to see them be a bit better in terms of managing the momentum of contests. He said that anytime you give up goals 5 minutes apart after you go up ahead a goal, it can be a bit deflating, a bit demoralizing. Want to see them hold on to possession of the ball in those types of moments. Looking for the give back toward Zach Zenge, the Minnesotan, and instead that will go out. Miscommunication there, as Hurtado will have the throw in for FC Cincinnati 2. Zenge able to atone for the mistake and force a turnover, and now here's Kevin Bombley, acquired last year on the loan from the Ivory Academy. Ended up playing just shy of 1,000 minutes for Columbus Crew 2 during the 2025 MLS Next Pro season. And goes down for the Cappies, was wanting a whistle. They won't get it, and now a counter building here for FC Cincinnati. It's Mosquera on the left, cutting inside. Mosquera parried away by Bruder. A pair of excellent saves early in this first half for Luke Bruder. This is great awareness here for Mosquera, cutting back to the inside. He had two on him and still was able to get that shot through. David Mosquera bringing a lot of quality into the attack for FC Cincinnati too so far this season. Kolasinac and a referee there in red in the center of your screen. Over on the right-hand side, blowing the whistle. And now service in from Oreja Reina. Fell to the back post. Sandy Lachikar, a former UNC Greensboro Spartan, had asked for a whistle, didn't get it. This match coinciding with Columbus Crew first team in action today against Toronto FC. BMO Field as this one up over the top, and trying to pull that one in on the move was Zach Zenge. Instead knocked out of play. It will be a corner for Columbus. Crew had struck first in that MLS fixture, but two unanswered for Toronto FC across the border. There were no Columbus Crew 2 players with the Crew first team for that fixture, so very strong lineup in terms of availability today for Federico Higuain and company. Zenge hits this, back stick, headed off the crossbar and out. Chase Adams made first contact. The team's leader in shots on target per 90 minutes so far this season, and just placed that one a bit high. Good service in, the towering header there from Adams. Couldn't put it on the target. Chase Adams so dangerous in front of goal. 22 career goals as this one up ahead, but the offside flag will come up. Those aforementioned 22 career goals for Chase Adams. They rank 14th all time in league history. In the conversation with the likes of former Columbus Crew teammate Jason Russell Rowe, who's now plying his craft in MLS regularly. Good first touch taken by Brown. Flashed across goal. Here's Bombley. On the end line, Bombley's cross. Rincon nods it along to Prestis. To Quinton Elliott now. Steps past Orejorena. Now Elliott ahead. Bombley. The cutback inside. Falls back to Elliott. His cross. Got that off somehow. Won't matter though for Columbus. A couple collisions and they cough it up. Audie Chavez can't hang on to it though. And Crew 2 will reset things. Columbus, they have been able to use the middle third to their advantage to this juncture of this contest. They've caused a lot of congestion, a lot of traffic right near that midfield stripe as we have a whistle. And Columbus Crew will have a free kick. It's been a contentious first 45 minutes so far. Already 9 combined fouls. We've seen a yellow card handed out. It's such a cliche, but when these two teams meet, you can really throw the records out. Anything can happen between Columbus and Cincinnati. The lift ahead, seeking Chase Adams, the center striker today for Federico Higuain and company. Prestis looking for the combination between he and Bombley. And Columbus finds it. Here's Prestis. He'll cut this in front. Defender first to it. Now Bombley turned away, and it's out for a corner. Columbus using these fullbacks to get high into the attack. That time it was Prestis. Good service in. Bombley on the follow-up. Just couldn't poke that ball through. This will be the second corner of the afternoon for Columbus as we come up on the 25th minute. Rincon swings this into the mixer. Dowd out with the punch. The rebound coughed up and whistled wide by Adams again. Nationwide, the official insurance partner of the Columbus Crew. Early on, it was FC Cincinnati, too, asking the questions of Columbus to the tune of 3 shots, 2 of which on target. But these last 5 minutes, Columbus, they've started to create those numerical overloads along the near and far channels that Federico Higuain always looks for. More than anything, Columbus, they're doing a good job of moving Cincinnati side to side before trying to get vertical like that. They haven't been able to connect as consistently on their long passes as they would like early on, but still having some openings in behind. Another stoppage whistled for. Columbus, they have been solid at home despite the tough 2025 season. They're unbeaten in 4 consecutive contests dating back to the 2025 campaign. Here's Rogers over to Brown now on the left. Turning away from pressure, cut inside. Here's Johan Chirinos. A good amount of returners from last year's team for Columbus, but still some new faces like 40 in yellow there. Chirinos, former Atlanta United and Orlando City Academy player. Weaving in and out. Here's Bombley looking for the give back to Zenge. Foot stuck in. One back here. It's Adams. Still Chase Adams. His cut back falls to Prestis, who fires it out. Took a deflection though, and it'll stay on this end. Good job by Columbus getting numbers high, winning that ball back up high, and another opportunity off a turnover for Columbus Crew 2. Third corner of the afternoon upcoming. Solid crowd on hand here inside Scott's Miracle Grow Stadium, roaring to life now. Trying to will Columbus into a lead. Chirinos in swinger. Dowd punches it away again. Brown will step up, looking to keep it alive, and instead puts that one out. We do have a whistle, though. David Mosquera very frustrated with said whistle. More issues for Cincinnati. Fired right to the feet of Bombley, who turns. The give back over to Bombley now. Bombley's effort blocked. Now Brown will win it back. Here's Zenge, hesitates. Ultimately coughs it up. Cincinnati looking to turn this upfield now. A foot race. Won by the Garys. It's Holmes. Holmes on his right. Holmes shot deflected over the bar and out. And it's a corner for FC Cincinnati. Just end-to-end action. And this time it's Cincinnati, the beneficiary of a deflection. Columbus, try as they might to get numbers back, could not dispossess Charlie Holmes. Coming over after spending 2 seasons at UConn. Big East second team selection is Holmes last year. Oreharena will have this corner as we come up on a half hour elapsed. Oreharena's service to the back post. Here's where Chase Adams will poke things away for Columbus. Mosquera looking for the switching pass. They find it. Got it down over to Chavez, now rolled ahead. Here's Oreharena. Back inside, Oreharena over to Mize. Headed down by a Columbus defender and ultimately thumped clear. Adams, he had given it up. Now Zenge tripped up from behind, and this will be another yellow handed out. It'll be the second FC Cincinnati 2 player booked. It sets Columbus up with a free kick here, right near the halfway line. As we have played over a half hour in this contest, still no score. It's Felix Sampson going into the book. Now up ahead, Chase Adams. Really stuck in there, battling with the defender, and Lachikar, who's been all over the pitch for FC Cincinnati 2 so far in this first 45 minutes. Scott's Miracle Grow, official lawn care and gardening partner of the Columbus Crew. One thing Columbus has tried to do as this first half has gone on is they're dropping Chase Adams, their striker, in on buildups here and trying to create those overlapping runs on the near and far channels. FC Cincinnati, too, they have started to adapt to that a little bit and are taking that away from Columbus. Crew 2, they go centrally and same result. Cut out by FC Cincinnati 2. Put up field by Orejorena. Here's Chavez. Hurtado on his right. Hurtado in front, just out of the reach of Mize, and now the follow-up put into the stands by Audemars Chavez. '57 in blue and orange, Leo Orejorena, coming over from North Texas in the offseason. Orejorena coming into this match has played the third most minutes of any FC Cincinnati player so far this season, and he's a guy that Sammy Castellanos very high on. Said more than anything, he's just such a learner, wants to be pushed. And Castellanos says he brings a real level of calmness to this FC Cincinnati 2 team. As Columbus on the move now. Here's Bombley, late arriving run, Prestis, they give it to him, in front of goal. Short clearance away. Not enough, though, to take the pressure off from Columbus. And here's Ruvalcaba. Elliott, a homegrown signing in the offseason, over to Ruvalcaba. And now Elliott goes forward to Bombley. Elliott trying to switch this, and he does successfully. Here's Brown. The layoff, Zenge. Official says play on. No foul given. Zach Zenge, the former first-team All-American during his time in Georgetown. 22 goals, 28 assists in his NCAA career in just 81 appearances. Brown played that one ahead, turned over though by Columbus. And now here's David Mosquera again. In this first half, as we come up on 10 to go plus added time until the halftime whistle, FC Cincinnati, they have done a solid job of utilizing the switching passes to try to rotate Columbus around, pull defenders out of place. It's had some success, but Columbus has also been able to keep their defensive shape, much like what we saw in that Toronto FC match that Federico Higuain loved from his team. They've carried some of that same momentum over. Dowd's distribution over to the near side. Headed down by Prestis, now headed along. Prestis arguing for a corner, instead it'll be a goal kick. Brian Dowd making his third start of the season for FC Cincinnati 2. Former 6th overall pick by the Chicago Fire in the 2024 Super Draft. After spending 3 seasons at Notre Dame, was the ACC Goalkeeper of the Year in 2023, his senior season. Has some commonality now with his new manager and Sammy Castellanos, who spent 2023 through 2025 with the Chicago Fire Academy. Youth development on the forefront of the mind of Castellanos. Here's a poor giveaway at the back now. Mosquera in behind, the save made by Pruder. Rebound coughed up though. Cross in, looking for Mize. Incredible defending from Columbus. Reyna comes up with the interception. Bombley looking for the clearance, and he can't find it. Sullivan, Chavez stepping inside. Angled back towards Sullivan. And now Pruder will just lay on top of that one. It all set up here by a great distribution from Dowd. Headed along, and nearly a goal for FC Cincinnati late in this opening half. Denied by Columbus. A great job by Cappy's numbers to get back and recover defensively. Columbus, as they have been the last few seasons, such a build from the back team, but they're starting so low. You can tell they're trying to draw Cincinnati in, make them be overly aggressive on their press, and then pick their spots with long passing going forward. FC Cincinnati, they haven't bitten yet on that. It's caused Columbus to have to adjust a bit on the fly. Rincon turns and plays it ahead. Adams now stepping into one. Oh, wow! Columbus drawing first blood at home thanks to Chase Adams. A stunner, 1-0. This is what Chase Adams does so well. Doesn't need much space, loading up and picking out the far corner. 23rd career goal for Chase Adams, the Crew homegrown. He brings so much attacking quality to Columbus. He can change the game in a hurry, and he has changed this contest in the blink of an eye. Took some time for Crew too, but they finally have that elusive opener. The former Crew Academy Player of the Year and MLS Next All-Star, Chase Adams. Sammy Castellanos for FC Cincinnati, one of the areas he had talked about earlier this week as being crucial in order for the Garys to capture all 3 points against their rivals. Being good in the opening handful of minutes, is that out of the reach of Zingue and tossed back out by Dowd, but also being good in the closing 5 or so minutes of halves as well. Last match against New England Revolution, they score the equalizer late, then a minute later give up the winner off an own goal. It's part of those building blocks that Castellanos had referenced when I caught up with him earlier in the week. Just learning to put the whole picture together for this FC Cincinnati 2 team. And down by Rubalcaba. There is a whistle, though, for the foul. And FC Cincinnati 2 will have a free kick out of it. They've had their opportunities, 3 shots on target, but a trifecta of impressive saves from Luke Pruder, the 23-year-old Californian. It's kept the Garys off the score sheet to this point. Now Mosquera looking to shake free of Prestes. Will get a late whistle, FC Cincinnati will. And this will be a free kick here for FCC2, an area that they excelled in a season ago with set pieces. Between corners and free kicks, 10 combined goals last year. They scored off a corner in the 4-3 marathon victory against Columbus toward the end of the 2025 season. Orejorena lifts this into a crowd, headed away by Columbus. Hurtado now. Back over to Orejorena on the left. He'll stand up across, and that one overhit as Chirilla went down and asked for a whistle. And now he has some words with Denny, our center referee. Coming up on the end of the opening half here in Columbus, Ohio. Busy halftime report to bring you. Great feature. We'll head out to the Pacific Northwest and hear from George Minongu, former Tacoma Defiance star, who's starring with Seattle Sounders and their manager, Brian Metzger. There's a whistle here as David Mosquera will go down. And now a card will come out. First booking of the afternoon against Columbus. It has been a lot of up and down in this contest. As we take a look back at the yellow here, right there in the center of your screen, 41 in blue. There's David Mosquera. You see the feet there tangled up between he and Johan Chirinos. And Mosquera the worse for wear on that challenge. David Mosquera struggling to make his way back up the field. Trainers did come on. Mosquera now able to stretch that lower right leg out. Pruder will put a right foot into this one to get play back underway off the stoppage. The aforementioned Georgie Minongu, who we'll hear from at the half here in just a few moments. Already 2 MLS appearances for Brian Schmetzer and Seattle Sounders. Currently finding themselves in 4th place out in the MLS Western Conference. They'll play Minnesota United tomorrow at 2:30 in MLS action. A busy weekend in both Next Pro and MLS. Adams has 1 goal today, now still carrying on. It's Adams now weaving through. Chirilla has to just turn that one out of play to take the pressure off. 2 minutes of added time at the end of this first 45. Chase Adams off to an incredible start to his MLS Next Pro campaign. A goal in the 4-2 loss, the opener against Red Bull New York. A goal today, had a brace against Toronto FC. FC Cincinnati too, dating back to last year, they've become very comfortable, very familiar at least, with playing down a goal. This is the 7th time in the last 8 matches since that stretch run of 2025 where they've gone down a goal. Had some troubles in 2025, clawing their way out of a deficit. Finished just 3 wins, 9 losses last year when conceding the opening goal. They're winless this season when doing so. Work to do in the second half for Sammy Castellanos and FC Cincinnati 2. There is the halftime whistle from Denny Kolasinac, and we have reached the break in Columbus, Ohio. A goal in the 39th minute from Chase Adams, the difference maker so far. Our score at the half, Columbus 1, FC Cincinnati 0. Coming up in this halftime, a Ted Lasso star visits Chicago Fire 2, and we check in with former Tacoma star Georgie Monongu. Halftime starts after this break.
Boys hear sentiment, flow tastes sweet like cinnamon. Open up doors, I'm a gentleman. View top floor, I'm still staying ahead of them. Running on fumes and adrenaline. Do what I do best, can rush in like a roulette. You can't name a better duet. Don't ask questions, trying to figure out what sound. Don't worry about what next, just wanna know what's next. Man, I say it so loud. Don't worry about what next, just know we got now. Oh yes, man, I say it oh so proud. Don't worry about what next, just know we got now.
Should be a fun season of MLS Next Pro. Oh my! Pedrinho wins it!
Back in Columbus, 1-0 at the half in favor of the home side. As halftime continues, let's get to know the continuing journey of former Tacoma Defiance star Georgie Monongu in this incredible story.
Monongu, numbers for Seattle, looking to put this one to bed. Monongu! This one's in bed, and Georgie Monongu puts it there.
Monongu again running at Yaboa, again stepping over, byline, Monongu! Oh!
Georgie Monongu is as unpredictable as any player I've seen play for Seattle in MLS history.
Come from a Christian family, you know. My mom raised me with love and a lot of smile, and like she gave me like all like good education, like always happy, whatever is coming, you know. So like I feel like me, I can't play without joy, you know. As soon as I play like with no joy, I'm not happy. And I'm trying to, you know, to enjoy what I'm doing and like always be like normal, natural, you know. So that's me, you know, smile, you know, that's the thing.
For a long time, nobody in Seattle knew the name Georgie Monongu. But in a small village near the western edge of Ivory Coast, the game was already shaping him.
There was no rule, there was no restriction. We play like 9v1, you know, you have the ball and you have to, like 9 defenders against you, and then you have to dribble all of them to go score, you know. That's how I grew up.
He played in the street, sometimes with a ball made of plastic bags. There were no coaches, no tactics, just a game, and a joy that never left him.
It was fun. We played like on the street, you know, the ball wasn't like a real ball. It was a very good time, you know. I enjoyed those times. And every time I go back home, I have to play against my friend, yeah.
When he came to the US, he still had a lot to learn. He studied tape, asked questions, learned where to be and why.
Before training, I went in their office because I didn't really know like about the positioning, the tactical stuff, but they helped me every time. They helped me grow. Like I saw like how I improve a lot, and my level like goes to the next level, because they've been there since the first that they saw the potential in me, and they decided to help me. They really did the job, So I really appreciate that, and like that's why I'm in the MLS level now, yeah.
Early in 2023, he was close to signing with the Sounders' first team. Then, without warning, his life changed drastically.
Like I did a great preseason, even score. Like I was so good in preseason, and we came back, training, and then stuff like that happened. It was like all my world like goes down. Like I didn't really know. Like was like, bro, what's really going on? I'm about to live my dream, and then like this stuff happened, But like I'm a son of God. Whatever happened, is God will decide, And I decided to fight and not let this thing affect me, The doctor was saying like, no, maybe it's not possible that you might play one day, but I was like, no, I'm gonna fight through, I'm gonna play even if I have one eye, I'm gonna be the best. Everybody's gonna say, oh, this kid has one eye, but he's even better than those who has two eyes. And that's my mindset now, No matter where I go, no matter how defender is good, or like I'm gonna go through and then I'm gonna play, I'm gonna be the best winger in this league. And that's my mindset. That's how I get to the first team.
Then, another blow. His father passed away.
My family didn't want me like to be, they know that this thing affects me, And they didn't want me to go back to my country and then like I'll be so much affected that when I came back, my game will not be the same, And that moment I just signed with the first team, so that was the moment to help the team. So I talked to my mom. She was like, Georgie, I know you want to come, but for me, I think like the good thing for you to do is to stay and help your team, And I know your dad would tell me, if he was there, he would say the same thing, Because my dad like would never want me to leave training or something like that to just go do other thing, Because he's been helping me a lot since I used to be a kid to just keep training and stuff like that, So like I listened to my family and then I decided to stay and then play for my dad. And then at the end of the year, I went back to see everything. And yeah, that wasn't easy, playing with knowing that your dad passed away and you can't even go over there, like just seeing for last one time, it's very tough. But I decided to play for the team because I love the team, and yeah, that's the more important thing. I have a lot of people here supporting me, so that was huge.
Right towards the spot, that one's side goal, and touched in by Maningo.
Ball come on me, I just put it in, And in that moment, I was thinking about my dad, because my dad passed away the day before. So the coach even asked me, Georgie, are you sure like you can play? I was like, yeah, I'm gonna play. So, scoring that goal, and then like I was crying even at the end, or everybody come to support me, but that was a good moment for me. And I even, put my hand on sky, to say, yeah, Dad, I know you over there, but, like I'm playing for you now. And that was a good moment, and thanks God for everything, and that was one of the best moments of my life, yeah.
He's proven he belongs. Now, he wants more.
I'm always fighting, but my goal is like, to be the best in my position, try to score goal, assist, and try to help the team win trophy, We never know like how it's gonna end, But everybody's dream is to play like, maybe one day in Europe, Champions League, something like that, Never know. That's my dream too, But now I want to help the team, the same way the team helped me too.
He's not just here for himself. His journey is a message.
Whatever you want in your life, go find it, go get it. Because if you don't do it, maybe in the future, one day you're gonna regret it, and then you'll be like, oh yeah, maybe I could, maybe no. In my mind, there is no maybe. Either I find a way to do that, or either like I create myself a way to do that. So that's my mindset.
Welcome back. 1-0 in favor of Columbus at the half. Well, it's not an act. One of your favorite Ted Lasso actors did make an appearance in a camp and can play. We tracked him down to talk about the experience with the Chicago Fire.
Hola, hola, this is Cristo Fernandez, and we're here at the new facilities in Chicago Fire. Very happy and grateful to be here. I know I've been doing more acting and filmmaking these last couple of years. I would have never imagined how life was gonna turn for me. Never imagined that with my new dreams of film and acting, football, soccer was gonna be the thing that was gonna open them for me. I say this because I've always missed football, soccer. That's my first love. The level is very intense, young upcoming players, so lots of potential in this club. I can say that this is world-class level. I played professionally back home in Guadalajara. We didn't have this level of world-class facilities. I think the club is doing something great for both the city, the team, the players. It's a dream come true for anyone to be here. So for me, it's also a dream come true to be here now, and I am grateful for the opportunity. What has surprised me is the level of the team. I've seen both the first team, the second team, the players, they're doing something great. And what surprised me as well is the quality of the people, very nice people. And that also says a lot about the club, and I think that's very important. It's been really nice getting back to the field, training, and really giving my best and believing I still can play this professionally, and we'll see where the dream takes us. But it's been really nice.
Halftime continues in Columbus, Ohio. 1-0 in favor of Columbus Crew 2 over FC Cincinnati 2. 45 to go to determine a winner in this one. A chance to look at last week's scores as halftime continues here. A busy week last week around MLS Next Pro, including Crown Legacy in the Eastern Conference picking up yet another win to open 2026. They're the hottest team in the Eastern Conference. You can make the argument they're the hottest team in the league overall, pacing the East right now with 9 points. 14 goals scored so far for Crown Legacy. Just goals continuing to come over in North Carolina. New York City FC and Toronto FC kicking off this match week 4 on Thursday. A massive win for Toronto FC. 5-0, including 3 goals in an 8-minute span in the second half. As for the upcoming schedule, things will kick back off tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. An Eastern Conference clash between the league's newest team in Connecticut United and New England Revolution 2. Also out in the West, a real tasty matchup there between St. Louis City 2 and LAFC 2. Chicago Fire and Carolina Core, who were handed a cup set in the U.S. Open Cup in the midweek, looking to right the ship against Chicago Fire 2 back in MLS Next Pro play. Those are the upcoming matches, but as for our contest at hand, let's catch you up on how things went in the opening 45 minutes with our first half highlights. It was a real back and forth affair. Both teams had their opportunities, but it was Columbus who early on was able to use some combinations in and around the 18-yard box to open things up. That's a save there from Brian Dowd, one of his 2 in the first half. And then FC Cincinnati would come back down. They'd put a shot on target, stopped by Luke Pruder. They would not score on the ensuing corner. Another great effort there, that time from Daber Mosquera, parried aside. Some frantic moments in front of the box for FC Cincinnati 2. Turned away, though. And then Columbus, as the half would go on, they would start to ask more and more questions. This, though, toward the tail end of that opening 45 minutes, a real opportunity on the breakaway on a bad give back toward goal. Couldn't score off of it. And then in the 39th minute, Chase Adams, he would take advantage. Bury that one, a spectacular finish into the upper 90, and that broke the deadlock. And that is where we stand through 45 minutes of play as we look at our first half stats. And the big thing for FC Cincinnati they're going to take away from in that opening 45 minutes, the 3 shots on target, but the 0 in terms of the goals. They have to be more ruthless in front of goal in this second half if they want to get themselves back in this contest. It's 1-0 at the break in favor of Columbus. We'll head back to break. Second half kick when we return.
Boys hear sentiment, flow tastes sweet like cinnamon. Open up doors, I'm a gentleman. View top floor, I'm still staying ahead of them. Running on fumes and adrenaline. Do what I do best, can't rush in like a roulette. You can't name a better duet. Don't ask questions, trying to figure out what sound. Don't worry about what next, just wanna know what's next. Man, I say it so loud. Don't worry about what next, just know we got now. Oh yes, man, I say it oh so proud. Don't worry about what next, just know we got now.
Should be a fun season of MLS Next Pro. Oh my! Pedrinho wins it!
Both teams out of the halftime dressing room, and we are set to go for the second half. It is heck is plausible derby. Denny Kolasinac sounds the whistle, and we're back underway between Columbus Crew and FC Cincinnati 2. Here inside Scott's Miracle Grow Stadium in Columbus, Ohio, and quickly it's Columbus on the attack, asking early questions. Crew 2 picking up where they left off in that opening 45 minutes, wearing the yellow with the black shorts, Cincinnati in the all blue. Another opportunity for this FC Cincinnati 2 side to play inside the first team's home venue, where Columbus Crew of the MLS call home. The stadium opened in 2021, and it's something that Federico Higuain, he said most people don't think about it, but it is important to the development of players. Ultimately, this is where players want to be playing at day in and day out. That means they've reached the MLS level. You get to train pregame on the first team pitch. You dress in the first team locker room. It's all those little things that most people don't take into account when they think of player development at this MLS Next Pro level. As Higuain looking on there at the bottom of the screen, former Columbus Crew legend, third all-time in Columbus history for career goals. And now here's Bombley up ahead, out of the reach of Zingue. And laying on top of it is Brian Dowd, who had a handful of saves in that first half, 2 to be exact. A turnover at the back. That was a theme in the opening half for Cincinnati. Trying to find the cutback. Joining the attack is Brown. Brown from distance, and that will go high. Cincinnati's had a tendency to leave space in that pocket at the top of the 18 all afternoon long. We saw Chase Adams in the 39th minute take advantage of it, stepping into space and rifling home the opener for Columbus. And they continue to leave space in that golden zone, that zone 14 on the pitch for Columbus. Derry's knocking out a play, and Crew 2 will have the throw. There's Tristan Brown, the Michigan native, homegrown signing for this club. 6 career first team appearances for Brown, 22 in yellow and black. Very strong distribution here for Luke Bruder. Handcuffed, though, Tristan Brown on that near touchline, and that forces Dowd out. Puts it out of play, and Crew 2 will have a throw in toward this final third. Moving quickly as the home side. Brown, top the 18 to Adams. They wanted Brown back inside. was coated well defensively by Cincinnati. Headed down, here's Prestis now. Prestis wanting the cross, cut out by Dowd. Owen Prestis and really Columbus as a whole did a good job of getting fullbacks high into the attack to try to help create those overlapping runs, opened things up on the flanks for Columbus in the opening half. It's Mosquera now looking to shift past Johan Chirinos. No change for either side coming out of the halftime break here in Columbus. Collision. That will send a Columbus Crew attacker down and draw a whistle. We saw 15 fouls, 3 cards, 2 of which were handed out to FC Cincinnati 2 in the opening half. Felix Sampson and Jack Mize carrying yellows for the Garys here in the final 45 minutes. Rare mistake we've seen from Columbus so far today, as Hurtado will have the throw in for FC Cincinnati 2. Columbus bunching up. FCC2 will roll it ahead, and it's intercepted. It's one area that Columbus did a solid job of defensively in the opening half, of congestion in the midfield. Forced Cincinnati to go long on a number of their builds, and now building is Columbus. In behind is Brown, flashed across goal, out the other side, and Prestis can't get the touch off. Those wide areas starting to open up in half number 2 for Columbus. And that's to their advantage. If you're FC Cincinnati, you have to step up and cut these crosses off. Columbus, one of the better service teams in MLS Next Pro, a top 10 team in cross completion percentage in the league in 2026. Something that the Cappies under Federico Higuain, they love to do. They want to get wide, they want to flash those balls back across the face. There's Felix Sampson, called up to the Canadian U20 national team earlier this year. 50 in blue trailing on the left side of the screen. Came over on the loan in the offseason from CF Montreal. And now Sampson's pass telegraphed and intercepted by Brown. It's touched forward, back to Brown. Options here. Tristan Brown, the cutback in front, 2-0. Kevin Bombley strikes and doubles the lead for the Cappies at home. It all starts with the interception in the midfield. Tristan Brown carrying it along, and a great centering ball right to the feet of Kevin Bombley. Second goal of the season for the Ivory Coast native. A great way to start out half number 2 if you're Federico Higuain and company. Putting some more breathing room between yourselves and your arch rivals. One of the areas that Higuain, he had talked about earlier in the week, always looking for those little improvements, wanting to be more clinical, wanting to be better in possession here at the start of the season to lay that good foundation for success later on in the year. In Columbus, they've been clinical in this contest so far. Rogers will run that ball down. And Pruder able to clear that one away. Here's Sampson now, trying to head it forward. What effort there by Zengay. Good ball over. Able to find Bombley, who leaves it off. Whistle wide of the near post. It all set up here by Zengay, who just wouldn't give up on it. And then Prestis on the late arriving run. You see the reaction. Owen Prestis thought he had a third for Columbus, but whiskers wide. Now it's FC Cincinnati's turn. Mosquera trying to find the layoff back inside, and does. Here's Mize on the end line now. Mize, his cross off the foot of Pruder and cleared away. Sampson going to ground, and Sampson has to be careful. He's carrying a yellow. The Columbus Crew 2 coaching staff there at the bottom of the screen, specifically Federico Higuain, asking for a card. They won't get it, and now Cincinnati will use this opportunity to make a pair of changes. Felix Sampson will come off as Cameron Spire will come on. Jack Mize will also come off, the two players that were carrying yellows from that first half. Joining the 17-year-old FC Cincinnati Academy man is Will Kiesel, his first run of the afternoon. Just the second time this season that Kiesel has not been in the starting 11, has already logged over 200 minutes. His play back underway off the free kick. Gonna lead the way in behind for Tristan Brown. That one out of his reach. Poor giveaway again, though. FC Cincinnati, they've had real issues playing out of the back, and now it's Adams carving an opening. And quickly canceled out by the defense. Just been a bit casual at times when playing out of the back for FC Cincinnati too. And the way that Columbus has come out aggressively in both halves now with this press, you just can't afford to be casual if you're the Garys. Powering life's most important moments. American Electric Power. Charles will work it along. Here's Hurtado now. The struggles here in the second half for FC Cincinnati 2. They've been a carryover from the opening 45 minutes. This one thumped in behind. Hurtado will track it down now. Hurtado, his cross in, glanced away by Columbus. And that is where Bombley will pick the pieces up for the Cappies. In the first 45 minutes, FC Cincinnati, 61 passes completed in the opposition half. So far in this second half, it's even fewer, only 7. And now, springing free is Columbus, and Zach Zengay. Zengay's shot is blocked. We get a whistle for Rosanok, who has been a busy man at the center referee spot. A whistle for a stoppage, and FC Cincinnati 2 will be handed a free kick. Gary's still in search of their first shot so far since the clock rolled over to the second half. The possession numbers even fewer than what we saw in the first 45 for FC Cincinnati 2. Had about 40% possession in the first half. That's down to hovering at 36 right now. And it was an area that Sammy Castellanos had keyed in on. Zengay goes down. And this will be another whistle from Kolasinac. Possession was something that Sammy Castellanos had keyed in on for FC Cincinnati 2 earlier in the week. Wanting to see them be a bit more dominant in that regard. Hold on to the ball a little bit more. Not been able to do that so far today. Ball errant and going forward. Hurtado will quickly chuck it back in as we come up on an hour gone. Bruder comes out, aggressive there, has some struggles with it on the clearance. Takes a fortuitous Columbus bounce back toward the midfield though. And Columbus able to come away unscathed. Sullivan, former Toronto FC man, 5 goal contributions last year for the Young Reds. Worked up ahead here, Chavez. Chavez looking to tuck it back centrally. Hurtado was in the vicinity, couldn't track it down, and now Dylan Hurtado taken down. This will be a free kick in quite the spot for FC Cincinnati too. Meanwhile, Dylan Hurtado is still down. This is what set it up. First, it's Audemars Chavez just wheeling around. Ball took a deflection. Columbus was slow to the punch. And Hurtado went crashing in, ultimately tripped up just a few steps outside the 18. And so FC Cincinnati 2. And Audemars Chavez will survey this set piece. Columbus have yet to concede a set piece goal in 2026. Chavez going for it and angling that one high. Goals in the 52nd and 39th minutes for Columbus Crew 2. First from Adams in the 39th, and then this man right here, Kevin Bombley, who will work a beautiful ball forward over to Zach Zenge. He doubled the advantage, Bombley did. Joining the attack now is Chirinos. Shoveled to Brown. Chirinos struggled with it on his initial touch, and this will give FC Cincinnati 2 a throw in. The reach of Zenge on the near side, and again, another throw over on this near touchline, this time for Sammy Lachikar. Came over in the offseason, signed from UNC Greensboro, has some good professional experience over in his home country of France. 18 total appearances for FC Metz, the U19s. Pushing the tempo now is Mosquera. Forces Columbus to slide that one out of play. Blue shirts will charge forward here as Charlie Holmes backing up and looking for a long throw in for Cincinnati. The Seattle native didn't have the options. Instead finds it into Chavez, cuts it back over. Holmes now. Holmes from distance, punched away. The rebound coughed up and still pinballing around inside. Ultimately thumped all the way back down though. And now an opportunity for Columbus and Chase Adams. Adams has it knocked off his boots. A corner won by Columbus. Chase Adams and Columbus Crew 2 turning the field on its head in a hurry. First corner of the second half upcoming, fourth of the day for Columbus. Last year they did have some success on scoring off of corners. 5 corner goals in 2025. They play the short option in. It's Prestis. Read well defensively by Columbus, rather FC Cincinnati 2. Trying the training ground routine off the corner. Instead it'll be a throw as FC Cincinnati will make another change. Their third of the afternoon. The former Philadelphia Union Academy player and current FC Cincinnati Academy man, Gavin DeHart, will come on. Brown couldn't hang on to it. Cleared all the way back down by FC Cincinnati 2. Vertiv, official data center equipment provider of the Columbus Crew. Switched over now, here's Hurtado. Hurtado trying to step inside on Tristan Brown. And Tristan Brown, one of the top defenders in this MLS Next Pro level. It's a hard task to do. Flanked now by Mosquera, who flashes it in front. Knocked away by Columbus, but not cleared deep enough. Pressure continues for the Garys. And now there's a collision, and a whistle will come in. Another free kick here for FC Cincinnati. It was worked back along to Spire. And the defender in Quentin Elliott, right there at the end of it, just stepped on the foot of the young Camden Spire. The angle straight on here for FC Cincinnati 2. One of the best scoring chances they've had so far. This from distance, off the woodwork and out. Jorena can't believe it. And Cincinnati, try as they might, they stay scoreless. It's well taken by Leo Jorena, just a bit high. Offside flag did come up at the end of it, and now Columbus will use this opportunity to make a triple substitution. Brent Giampi, Anthony Alloway, Prince 4-4. All on for Federico Higuain. Second appearance of the year for Alloway, and 4-4, fourth of the year for Brent Giampi, who leads this team in chances created. 4-4, a player who came on late in the season, 84 there at the bottom of the screen. MLS Next All-Star MVP last year. Scored a goal, played 45 minutes in the second half for the East All-Stars down in Austin, Texas last year as things get back underway. Lansing header along, finds Hurtado. It's something those youngsters for Columbus Crew that Federico Higuain talked about last year. Heading into 2025, they made a conscious effort, conscious decision as an organization. They shifted younger with this Columbus Crew 2 team. Of course, they graduated so many talented players up to the first team level, such as a Jason Russell-Rowe. But they intentionally went younger. And Federico Higuain, he had said coming into 2025 that there's going to be growing pains. It's going to be a learning experience for everybody involved. But we caught up earlier this week. I asked him, how much have you seen growth-wise from these young players? Adu Giamfi can't pull that one in on the move. And Higuain said the players like a Prince 4-4, the 17-year-old, Anthony Alloway, guys like that, they're so much more mature now. They played 15, 16, 17 games. In 4-4's case, 6 appearances, 4 starts for Columbus last year. But you can just tell a difference in this team, this collective. It's even something that Sammy Castellanos talked about for FC Cincinnati. Despite that being the rival coach for Columbus, Castellanos was very effusive in his praise of the Columbus organization. And he said you can tell by how Columbus plays. This is a group that they've played together for a while now, coming through all together from the academy, now having a season together under their belts in MLS Next Pro. Not a ton of changes roster-wise for Columbus here in 2026. And Castellanos, he said that cohesion, that level of togetherness is something that Cincinnati is hoping to emulate this year as the year goes on. Pruder sets it up to Rincon. Spire trying hard to win that back. See Cincinnati, they pressed in this 2-3-2-3 pressing shape all afternoon long. Hasn't been an explicitly aggressive high press. They've picked their moments when to. They just haven't been able to make Columbus uncomfortable consistently enough when Columbus wants to build out from the back. Just cut inside, Oreja. Hurtado will funnel it forward. Mosquera tripped up at the last moment, and this will be a yellow card. Chris Rogers will go into the book. And David Mosquera slow to get it up to his feet. Look at it again here. Mosquera was shifting back inside. You see Rogers, 55 in yellow, throw his hands up as if to signify no contact made. Federico Higuain, none too happy for Columbus on the touchlines. Gary's starting to pile up attacking half set pieces. This the third free kick in the last 10 minutes for FC Cincinnati 2. You have to start making something happen though with it if you're FCC. It'll be Oreja with the service. Crossed in toward Pruder, punched away, ricocheting around. Not clear yet for Columbus. Helped along the Spire. And there's some of that cohesion that Sammy Castellanos had alluded to earlier in the week. Teammates just not necessarily being on that same page right now as this team learns how to play together. DeHart put it out of play, and change of possession will occur via the throw-in from Quentin Elliott. Nature Made, official vitamin partner of the Columbus Crew, made to care for fans. Consecutive throw-ins coming now for Crew 2. Missed the playoffs last year for the first time in club history and made all 3 prior. The inaugural MLS Next Pro champions in 2022 reached the final in 2023, falling to Austin FC. Got into the playoffs last year, rather in 2024, and missed it last year. But you look at Federico Higuain's coaching record, it's so interesting to see the symmetry there for Higuain. When he was at Inter Miami in 2023, finished 5-17-6 in his first year. The very next season, a club record 14 wins, got them to the Eastern Conference playoffs. Columbus Crew last year, they finished with a 5-17-6 record, the exact same mark that Higuain finished with in his inaugural season with the Herons of Inter Miami 2. Hoping to replicate that second season effort, and now this turned upfield. It's Prince 4-4, trying to lead the way in behind. Now Bombly off the half volley, deflected. Prince 4-4 slow to get to his feet. How about this ball here? Able to spring Columbus loose. It was a good idea on the early ball in. Bombley on the follow-up couldn't get it through traffic. And it will ultimately be a goal kick, but first, a moment of concern here for Columbus as Prince 4-4. He had went down rather, and he has stayed down. Training staff out to assess the status of Prince 4-4. Named to the GA Cup's U16 Best 11 last year. 4 total goals during the 2025 Generation Adidas Cup down in Bradenton, Florida. Helped lead the Columbus Crew U16 side to the quarterfinals of that tournament. Those academy tournaments are starting to come back into focus for MLS Next, the MLS Next Fest coming up soon. Back to his feet. See him laboring just a tad as he will walk off. It's a good show of support there from Kevin Bombley. At MLS Next level of the academy side of MLS, it's grown so expansive over the last few seasons, and in fact even this year. Conference expansion taking place in the MLS Next Academy division. 4 new conferences. So many talented players like a Prince 4-4 have risen out of the MLS Next level. 4-4 unable to continue on. Jamil Danjaji will come on, as will O'Neal Taylor for Columbus in favor of Prince 4-4, who a short stint on the pitch. Given away along the back again. That's been such a theme this afternoon for Cincinnati. They're able to come away unscathed as O'Neal Taylor dispossessed. O'Neal Taylor, speaking of highly talented MLS Next products, during his time with the OSS Academy in Florida, as Rubalcaba will come up with it. 5 goals at the 2025 MLS Next Cup. Rogers will work it forward. Alloway trying to give it back to a teammate. Instead, it's picked up by Spire for FC Cincinnati 2. And Spire will win a free kick, and this will be more. A yellow given out to Anthony Alloway as Kevin Bombley asking for an explanation. Alloway will join 2 other Columbus Crew players in the book. Five total yellows handed out today by Denny Kolasinac. Jorge Helrena levels this ball in toward the spot and headed over said bar by Michael Sullivan and out. This has been a pretty good summation of the day for FC Cincinnati too. They've been close, but just not enough to get across that finish line. 12 shots, just 4 on target. 4-save performance for that man in purple, Luke Pruder, who's in line for his second clean sheet of 2026. Takes a ricochet off a Cincinnati defender and now played in front. Here's Alloway, a bit too slow to get to it. Andre Chirilla has to move with it. The issues continue here for Cincinnati. The back end of things, that one's put out, and Quentin Elliott will have the throw in. Up on 10 plus stoppage time to go here at Scotts Miracle-Gro Stadium in Columbus. Goals in the 39th and 52nd minute for the Capybaras of Columbus Crew 2. Those two have stood the distance so far. Cincinnati continuing to knock on the door, but just no answer, and now turned over again here. Offside flag will come up, and O'Neal Taylor can't believe it. And a break in on goal. Cincinnati will make another change as Giovanni Marioni, former Chicago Fire 2 and Chicago Fire Academy defender, will come on. Fourth of 5 possible changes made by Sammy Castellanos. Some frustration starting to boil over here for Cincinnati. Marioni coming right on and crashing through the back of Kevin Bombley. Meanwhile, there is a Columbus Crew 2 defender, and Anthony Alloway, who was slow to get back to his feet. Bombley turns back inside. He has one today. Once a second, it's bobbled by Dowd. Ultimately corralled back in, and Dowd will toss it out. Dowd's distribution has been strong this afternoon for Cincinnati. Gary's just haven't been able to make much happen with it. This work back ahead. Marioni trying to stand up across and just caught that with the wrong part of the foot. Out it goes. And Pruder and Columbus can take their time. Columbus Crew just minutes away from picking up, should this result hold, what would be their 8th all-time win against their in-state rivals. 44 in yellow going at 44 in blue. And now, some words exchanged there at the end between Giovanni Marioni and Anthony Alloway. It's been a frustrating day for FC Cincinnati too. We've had so many opportunities to get one past Luke Pruder, who's made 4 outstanding saves in net. Despite the 2 goals for Columbus Crew, it really has been a solid defensive effort today. Going back to one of the things that Federico Higuain said that he felt like they turned a corner this season, and was that organization and that compactness defensively. Coming off that win against Toronto FC too, those were his thoughts, and a lot of that same organization and compactness defensively that has shown up time and again. And also utilized that 4-1-4-1 press to their advantage. They've caused FC Cincinnati to a host of opportunities, just trying to play out of their own end of things. Here's DeHart with the throw in, a second half substitute. Lofted ahead now. Marioni in an offside position. This will end a run of 3 straight at home for Columbus after going on the road to open their campaign against the defending champions, Red Bull New York 2. After that, it's 2 straight on the road against Chattanooga FC and Connecticut United. Chattanooga, the boys in blue, looking to get their season back on the right track. They'll have the nightcap tonight in the Tennessee River Derby against Huntsville City, who, like Chattanooga FC, has had some struggles to start 2026. Chris O'Neill, their second-year manager, he told me earlier this week, he said the biggest thing that they want to try to clean up is just stop conceding goals. They give up 7 against Crown Legacy, and here's a giveaway back to Rincon now. Rincon, kick save made. It falls to Bombley. What a flurry of stops for Brian Dowd. Columbus thought this was surely a third. First Rincon denied, the rebound coughed up, the second effort palmed away by Dowd at full stretch. It does concede the corner to the Cappies. Five corners today for Nico Rincon and Columbus. Rincon in swinger, headed away by DeHart, and ultimately headed out of play by Brent Adu-Giamfi. Racing in behind is DeHart now on the left. Spire. And now cut inside. Here's Orejuela. Marioni. Rolled back forward now. Michael Sullivan will track this one down. Marioni stands up across. Spire hacking away for it. Instead, it falls out the other side, and that is where Gavin DeHart will pick it up again. Spire now back to goal. Ruvalcaba, well defended there from Cesar Ruvalcaba. Now carrying it along. Here's O'Neal Taylor. One of the areas that Federico Higuain didn't much care for from the loss against Toronto FC. He said that they weren't as good out of possession. And that was an area he really wanted to see them clean up. But Columbus, they've been so good out of possession today. Their movement on and off the ball has been crisp. Defensively, they have been stout. Now Mosquera taken down. Rogers, he's already carrying one. Cards will stay in the pocket of Denny Kolasinac. But a stern word there with Chris Rogers, the Ohio native and former Columbus Crew Academy U17 captain. Leo Orejuela hovers over top of this. Jorena. Service in, headed over the bar and out. Chance creation-wise this season, FC Cincinnati, they have had some struggles in that regard. Came into this contest with just 6 shots on target overall on the campaign. It's something that Sammy Castellanos credited to early season learning. He had mentioned it's a new coach. It's a new swath of assistant coaches. It's a bunch of new faces in this lineup. It is going to take time. He preached patience to his team. He says that he feels like they're understanding those building blocks. They're making strides each week. They had their opportunities today. They're going to walk away a bit frustrated with some of their efforts, especially those in front of goal. Charlie Holmes will back up on this near side for another throw-in. Long toss in from the Seattle native. Goes into the gloves of Pruder. Castellanos did say that, and it's something that comes into play for every team at MLS Next Pro. He did say that when you do have players like an Audemars Chavez, like an Andre Chirilla that are popping in and out of first-team environments, as there will be 4 minutes of stoppage time given out by the 4th official. He said that that transitional nature of MLS Next Pro, it also makes building that cohesion and unity amongst a team difficult in the early stretches of the season. Rogers will flick this one forward. Spire now. Early ball in. Marioni can't run that one down, and out it goes for the Columbus throw-in. Chirilla heads that one back down for FC Cincinnati 2. Marioni, now Holmes, well timed. As Rogers goes sliding out of play to knock that one away. Columbus, since Federico Higuain has come over, and really in their club's existence as an MLS Next Pro side, defense has been the real identity of this club. It's something Federico Higuain has tried to reinforce and reinstill with the Cappies since taking over as their head coach. They're one of the best tackling teams in MLS Next Pro. That one intercepted and one back. Here's Marioni, and again, coded well defensively. FC Cincinnati's captain, Michael Sullivan, will toss this back into play. Glancing header to the back post. No one there for FCC2. And Columbus, no choice but to boot that one out for the clearance, courtesy of Renato Giamfi. Lifted back toward Pruder, has to punch that one away. There was some congestion in front. And now Marioni just goes spilling out of play. And it will give Columbus a throw in with just about a minute until the full-time whistle in what has been a clinical performance for Columbus Crew 2 in front of been a lively crowd here at Scott's Miracle Grow Stadium. One last push here for FC Cincinnati 2, trying to find a late goal. Mascara can't shake free of the defender, has to cut it over to Kiesel. Now Spire will swing this one in. This one hit off the volley, deflected away from goal. Second ball served in, and it's the same result. There is the full-time whistle. A decisive clinical performance in the derby for Columbus Crew 2, who keep their second clean sheet of 2025. They get a pair of goals, one in the first half from Chase Adams and one in the 52nd minute from today's man of the match. Kevin Bombley, our man of the match, presented by Adidas, for his strike in the 52nd minute that ultimately sealed it for Columbus Crew 2 to pick up their second win of the season. A fantastic finish on the cutback pass from Tristan Brown, and that put the icing on the cake for the Cappies at home. Their 8th all-time win against FC Cincinnati 2, and their 4th in the last 5 matches played in Columbus. It's all over in Ohio's capital city. Columbus Crew gets the better of their derby foes, FC Cincinnati 2, 2-0. For our entire broadcast crew, I'm Jake Griffith. Don't forget you can watch MLS Next Pro all season long at MLSNextPro.com and OneFootball. Good afternoon from Columbus.
This copyrighted broadcast of Major League Soccer may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of Major League Soccer.